Welcome to another edition of Northern Heat, and this week our special guests, and we have two of them this week, and I guess it's a real special occasion too when we're talking about things have changed, because we were talking about golden miles at one time and now we're talking about golden meters, and it's got to do with the Sentier Nepisiguit Mi'gmaq Trail. And we have Rod O'Connell here that is president of the committee, I gather, that has put this together, and Chief David Peter Paul from the Mi'gmaq and the Pabineau First Nations. So Rod, why don't you tell us a little bit on how this all happened? Because, you know, we talked a little bit about inside when we were there. We're at the Governor's Lodge today, and the trail just finished just a few meters away. And tell us a little bit about how this all came together and the volunteers in the area.
Well, actually, from the start, it was the Pabineau First Nation who started it back in the 1980s. And they're the ones that really built the trail and actually went up as far as Mount Carleton with the trail. And there was actually an official opening in 1998 at Pabineau Falls with the arch and everything. But after, say, 2000 some, and David probably could correct me on this here, there was no more maintenance on the trail.
Okay.
And somebody asked me, can we hitchhike, yes. Can we hike the Mi'gmaq Trail? And I said, well, I'll check it out. So I went to see David Peter Paul, and they had information gathered about the history of the area. And I started to walk different areas of the trail because I didn't want to bring people before I actually started the trail myself. So this is why they talk about 2004.
Okay. Okay.
It's really a revival of what was already done by the Pabineau First Nation.
So how long is the trail from, if we take from the Nepisiguit Basin, or downtown in the Bathurst area, all the way up to Carleton? How long is that trail?
Well, really, to get from, like, say, Daly Point or Bathurst Harbour, all the way to the Appalachian Trail, which would be actually the height of the Mount Carleton, would be a little over 150 kilometers.
Really? Really?
We're starting actually from the Pine Point in the Bathurst Lakes. In other words, the water system which flows down towards Bathurst. And that's about 143 kilometers.
So they also talked about, when they had everybody talking a while ago, that they also talked about the fact that this ties into the Appalachian Trail and connects in as far as where into the U.S.?
Into Georgia.
Into Georgia.
Yes.
So that's good. You know, that also brings a whole different aspect of that too. And David, what, like, on your side of the of looking at it from First Nations, what's this mean for you?
Well, for myself and my community, it forces us to echo back to the time when our community was once the only footprints that ever traveled this terrain and utilize this river system. So it's kind of enables us to be able to look back upon our past and think about the significance of what this river meant to our people. And when the Mi'gmaq Trail was first initiated, the whole concept in the late 1990s, our goal was to reach back and seize the opportunity to be able to utilize the same trail that our ancestors once traveled.
Okay.
And that to access resources. And our people were very nomadic in the sense that they traveled from the shoreline where they would fish through the summer and travel up into the upper reaches of the river through the fall and winter months. And that's how they eked out their existence. And they sustained their families, fed their children, they followed the game and they followed the fish. And so this Nepisiguit Mi'gmaq Trail, that was once, we have to always look back on the time when it was used exclusively by our people. But now what it means to us is that we now can make available to the general public, which is a diverse population across the Bathurst region, and all the way down as far south as Georgia. When you think about the variety of people that come through the Appalachian Trail, for them to now have access to the city of Bathurst, which was once the homeland of our people, means a great deal, because it all of a sudden, our history is becoming more appreciated and understood.
Correct. Yeah.
Our heritage along this river, this is a heritage river for us. Our heritage along this river is now being recognized as the forefront of these developments. And so it means a great deal to me and to my community that we can be part of this whole initiative and to help support this progress.
So today is a great day when we're finally able to finish off that section and clean that all up, and again, the number of volunteers that they talked about in there, and you know, we're not going to start naming any, like both of you said, it'll be hard to cover everybody, but if it wasn't for the volunteers in our area, that it would be very difficult to get a lot of this work done.
Exactly.
So there we are again with two gentlemen talking about turning on the heat in northern New Brunswick, but it's also about all the heat that can be turned on from all the volunteers in our area and what we can do, that it just ties into, it's a great news story. You know, we talk about trails in Europe that are pilgrimage trails. Well, this is no different, and this is also an opportunity to do that.
That's right.
So again, gentlemen, I want to thank you very much for today, for all the work that you've done, and making sure that this happens for our region. And let's go. And northern New Brunswick, here we are in our region, just turning on the heat one more time.